Hi there, viewers. Warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat session. Two news stories, two main news stories. We'll have a look at some other topics too. Let me welcome the participants first. Dark Star says, greetings, Sajid. Have all the regional forces been incorporated into Ethiopian National Defense Force? First comment, first viewer who commented. First question, rather. I don't know, honestly. Because in Amhara region, the new strike force, anti-riot force is being established. We can say that here ASF is turning into Amhara strike force. In Oromia, they say they have dismantled Oromia special forces, but have they become part of ENDF, part of militias, part of regional police, part of some government militias? Not clear. No clarity. I think when the government decided to disband special forces, that decision basically targeted Amhara region. Government wanted to disband Amhara militias, Amhara special force. And that decision backfired because Amhara special force member joined Fano. It was like shooting in its foot by the Ethiopian government. Other regional forces, whether part of police there or whether part of militias, no, not militias, whether part of police or whether part of ENDF, they are still there. And there is no big change. But special forces are not operating independently now. They're gradually being integrated into other forces, reportedly, in all regions, but not in Tigray. In Tigray, special forces or Tigray forces are still there, tens of thousands, of more than 20,000. Nahom Architects joined too. Welcome, Nahom. Adam Ahmad Ibrahim says hello. Samuel Faleke says hello. Hivot Empty says hello. Peace for you says hi. How are you, sir? I'm fine. Peace for you. Birhano Regavi, hi Mr. Sajid. We have national election here in South of Africa. How are you, sir? I'm fine. John Judah says, what's the news? I'll come to it. Jabir Muhammad says, hi brother Sajid, I'm here. How are you, Jabir? Muhammad Ali, I connected your live chat, but mostly I come when live chat ends. So welcome to you today that you are here right on time. Noor Yaya says hello. Araya Bolde Kidan says hello, Sajid. Two main news stories. First, viewers, Ethiopian State Media published a report today about African leaders. Isaias Afwerki was also shown, Eritrean President. Did Ethiopian government try to show Isaias Afwerki in negative light? Was the report negative? Why was there need for this report? Secondly, Dawit Gebregziaber, Mongerino's brother, who was arrested in the UAE, has been released reportedly. Hilo says, hi Sajid, what's your clear view of why Lieutenant General Biano Bakali and others in Volcaid with Colonel Damak Zadu? Well, let's wait. I would say people, by the way, don't trust Damak Zadu now. Majority. People say that he has sold himself. And they don't see him as the real representative of Amhara interests in Volcaid. They say Fano is here. Fano fighters will fight. Gondar Fano, silent about Damak Zadu, but there are some issues. Damak Zadu is mysterious so far. I mean, I cannot say for sure what he's going to do. So I don't want to speak without any information which is credible, which I have verified myself. So I would say let's wait. Mel Gabriel says, Sajid, it's time for you to start few Amharic words like Silam Nacheho. Silam Nacheho. What does it mean? Masfin K joined to Agonafir. You're on time today. Zanira Noor joins. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Zanira? First time that I'm saying Zanira. Abu Nafir says, why you say people don't trust Gebregziaber? What is your basis for conclusion? I'm saying majority because I talk to people who are part of FANO, who are part of OLA, part of TPLF, part of Eritrean government opposition. I stay connected with all sides. And people are mistrusting him. People in FANO, they mistrust Gebregziaber. They don't know what he's up to. So they say that whether he resists or not, FANO will resist, FANO of Gondar. There are issues. It's not that Gebregziaber has announced to betray or he's betraying Amhara people, but he's silent. His silence is mysterious. He is not clearly announced to take on the federal government or TPLF. He's issued statements about TPLF, but people say he's in touch with the federal government, even some secret lines. I'm fine, Mel Gabriel, how are you? Okay, Yamaskan, I'll wait for your video. Let's start, viewers. We'll keep today's live chat session a little brief, just two topics. I'll take your questions too. Firstly, Isas Ethiopian President. By the way, who said that? Someone is saying that Brigade Hamid has announced to launch an armed struggle against Isas government. Who announced that? Which Brigade Hamid group? Darni is saying. Darni, are you reading the articles on the website? You refuse to write, but I think there is some wonderful input from viewers. Today, I published an article by Elijah. Elijah is one of our regular viewers, man, a learned man, I would say, and he wrote an article about Ethiopian desire for access to sea and ground reality. Great analysis, I would say. So I would suggest that you should read the article newsedis.com, right? Newsedis.com, and in opinion section you see the article, and the man in a table showed the distance between main Ethiopian cities and ports. So he made his points very well. He worked a lot on this article. And I think in opinion section, we're seeing really some scholarly stuff. I mean, I am surprised. People say, Sajid, your viewers don't comment seriously. They're not interested in serious discussions. But see that opinion section, which is being taken forward by viewers. They are writing there, and I'm amazed that they have wonderful writing skills, analytical skills. They have their points, whether you agree with them or not, but they are making their points very well. Thank you, Stefanos. Darni says, Brigade Ham, the leader announced that in Addis. I don't know, Darni, I would like to confirm that it would be a big development, because if in Addis Ababa, Brigade Nehamedo announces to start an armed struggle against Asmara, it would be a big development. I have not seen that, so let me confirm. If you have confirmation, you can contact me, email, through Gmail. Oh, Kaliyab, I'm sorry. I miss you, by the way. I miss your questions, your comments too. But probably this is the time which suits most viewers. Lilu says, why is aid forbidden to Tigray? Some sources said it's not forbidden. I think aid is arriving in Tigray. Maybe not as much as is needed there. I got a few translations yesterday, Darni, about Hamido's program in Addis Ababa. I could not confirm anything about their calling for an armed conflict, armed uprising against Isasa. They only said rise, time for change, PFDJ are killing people, the government should be removed. I talked about that. But when it comes to armed uprising, I did not find anything from the translators who translated for me. So if you think that they said something like that, I would request you to send the video to me. And we should share this video with the viewers too. It's a big development. By the way, our first story is connected to your topic, to what you said. Why is that Ethiopian state media, Ethiopian government provoking Eritrea? What is the reason? This question should be investigated. I'll do a separate video, but just a few words which I want to say on that. Last year, when Pim Abiy delivered a speech, 45-minute long speech, and he tried to prove that historically, ethnically, Ethiopia had natural rights to gain access to sea, he was definitely addressing Eritrea. What happened after that? Eritrean government remained silent. It issued one statement only, but it launched its social media team. We know which Eritreans active on social media have the backing of Eritrean government. I think people know that. Those activists were launched. Since then, they have been lashing out at Ethiopian government, Ethiopian PM Abiy, calling for his removal. Then they struck alliance in social media with Somalis when PM Abiy signed an MOU with Somaliland. So Eritrean government remained silent, but it activated its social media activists. Ethiopian government now has decided to come out openly against Eritrean government. And Ethiopian government are ready to confront Eritrean government. That is why it is backing Brigade Nihamido on its soil. Today, Ethiopian state media published a report about those African rulers who have been in power for a long time. The longest serving rulers were shown by Ethiopian state media today. Isaias Afwerki, the Eritrean president, also shown that he has been in power for 31 years. So the picture which Ethiopian state media chose for Isaias Afwerki is a picture which is used by Western media and Eritrean critics when they want to paint Isaias Afwerki in a negative way. When they want to report negative things about Isaias Afwerki, they use this picture. This picture was used by Ethiopian state media today when it reported about African rulers who have been in power, and most of them, almost all of them, are dictators. Some are dictators in the guise of democrats, like Djibouti's Ismail Omar. Everyone knows how elections are held there, like Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. People know what he did to that singer who challenged him. Almost all are dictators. Some, like Isaias Afwerki, who don't believe in elections. Others hold sham elections. Why was there need for this type of report? Obviously, it's a way of saying that Isaias Afwerki is a dictator. Eritrean president is a dictator. Thank you, Abdisas, for buying this super chat sticker. Basically, this uh, report by Ethiopian State Media is directed at Eritrea. And it shows that the government has decided to take on Eritrea. How far will Ethiopian government go in confronting Eritrea or in provoking Eritrea? Yes, Ethiopian government is provoking Eritrea now. We cannot deny that. Holding Brigade Hamidu summit in Addis Ababa, and Darni says Addis Ababa, Brigade Hamidu of Addis Ababa announced to wage armed struggle against Eritrean government in Addis Ababa. It cannot be clearer than this, that Ethiopian government is now openly confronting Eritrean government. And you'll see more provocation from Ethiopian government. Interestingly, Eritrea is still silent. I mean, when Isaias Afwerki spoke on the Independence Day, he had a chance to criticize Ethiopia, to say something about Ethiopia. He just said that a war is in the making. Some forces are trying to wage war on Eritrea. Did not make a mention of TPLF or Ethiopian government, but he was he was implying that TPLF was being used as a proxy by some Western powers. Overall, I don't see it good for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa that Ethiopia was provoking Eritrea. I mean, if Eritrea does not want to share its resources with Ethiopia, if it does not want to form a strategic partnership with Ethiopia, Ethiopia cannot force Eritrea. Ethiopia cannot take us up by force. Eritrea is an internationally recognized country. You cannot force someone to form a strategic partnership. Strategic partnership is only formed when your interests align and you trust each other. And mostly when you have a common enemy, then your strategic interests align. Ethiopia and Eritrea, they don't have a common enemy. Now, they are enemy uh, against each other. They don't have any chance of forming a strategic partnership. Yes, Eritrea and Somalia can form a strategic partnership because they have common rival, that is Ethiopia. Yes, Eritrea and Egypt can form a partnership. Why? Because they have common rival, and that is Ethiopia. So Ethiopia cannot force Eritrea. University Abraha says, "How are you, Brother Sajid, today? I always miss live chats because of my busy here in Florida." Good to hear from you, University Abraha. Uh, yeah, it's not possible for everyone to be part of live chats because people obviously have their own engagements. Darni, what do you suggest? Not suggest, what do you think will happen now when Brigade Hamado is waging war on Eritrea, standing in Addis Ababa? What is next? Eritrea, Pearl of Red Sea says, Abiy is provoking Isas, but Isas is playing it smart. Last time he played very smartly when Abiy tried to prove that Ethiopia had rights to gain access to sea. That time he was very smart. Diplomatically, he just created a front with Djibouti, Somalia uh, against Ethiopian government. This time he's silent. So what will he do? Will he start backing a proxy in Ethiopia? Will it play some regional game against Ethiopia? Yeah, TPLF will support them. It's very understandable. Lilo says, Sajid, is there any new news about the Ola? Ola announced to launch a new operation yesterday. So I'll have to wait a little to see how this operation goes. Do they want to recapture their lost territories? Because in recent months, they lost some territories. Military went deep into Valaga. The military could not remove Ola from Valaga. Do they want to recapture their lost territories, or do they want to make a move towards some strategic areas, Addis Ababa, some bases, airports? Let's see. It seems to be a big announcement. They said yesterday that this operation is for restoration of democracy, for respect for fundamental rights. So it should be a big operation, the way they are saying. But we'll have to wait to see what they want to achieve. Where will they attack? Darni says Brigadier Nihamados should be careful. They must be careful in constructing their narrative. They should not base their narrative on hate. IWG says, Hi Sajid, Abi always does his things openly since he is diplomatically impotent to do it smartly. Isas is more experienced, I would say. Way more experienced than Abi. No one can deny that. Yemane Besrat joined to Chestnut Spark says, Hi Sajid, with internal conflict taking place in Ethiopia, surely it is not wise for Ethiopia to initiate external conflicts. Your take. Daniel Abate says, Brigadier Hamido are asking the government a space to open its office. Two news about Brigadier Hamido so far given by viewers. One says that they announced to wage war on Eritrea militarily. Daniel says they have requested the government to allot a place so that they can open an office here in Ethiopia. I'll speak on that once I'm able to confirm. Well, Chestnut Spark, can Ethiopia afford or not a new conflict? I think that Ethiopia would take on Eritrea if Ethiopia believes that Eritrea is involved in complicating matters in Ethiopia. If Eritrea is involved in exacerbating the security conflict, the issues in Ethiopia. If Ethiopia has received credible information that Eritrea is creating instability in Ethiopia, Ethiopia will definitely respond. Or second possibility is that Ethiopia wants to stop Eritrea from forming regional alliances. Because if suppose Ethiopia decides to implement MOU with Somalia, Somalia opposes, it starts an armed resistance. What will Eritrea do? Maybe the messaging from Ethiopia to Eritrea is about coming scenarios. Ethiopia does not want Eritrea to align with Ethiopian rivals or Ethiopian enemies. That is why Ethiopia has launched a campaign warning Eritrea that you should not be part of forming alliances against Ethiopia. These are two possible, I think, explanations, but there could be more. Triple Y double X says, can you maybe make a video over the situation in Amhara as a sum up Fano and E and F situation? Okay, I'll do that in coming days. I think they mentioned someone is saying if there are two fighters, they should go to Tigray. So I think they mentioned that they'll organize a gathering in Zilambasa too. Uh, University Abraha says, why not the opposition party make a protest in Eritrea? There is no opposition in Eritrea. No one allowed to be opposition. Anyone suspected of having this opposition agenda is going to be thrown in prison. Alim joined today, a little late today. Alim is a member. How are you, Alim? Alim Gizau says, when you say Ethiopia, wouldn't it be more precise if you say the one man who makes decisions? Maybe Ethiopian government would be the right word because he's obviously not the one man. He has entire military, he has parliament, he has prosperity party under him. We cannot say one man. No one is rising against him. We cannot say one man. All seem to be with him. Lila says, do you know anything about Eritrean cyber attack? I don't know. Eritrean government should tell. They said they'll disclose the identity of attackers in due time. When will the due time come? If you remember, when the Eritrean groups clashed in Tel Aviv in September last year, the Eritrean government issued a statement saying that hostile intelligence agencies were involved in backing such groups against Eritrea and that information will be disclosed. It was never disclosed. Thank you, Yamasgan. Don't use any hateful words, I would say. Uh, we should not use hateful words for anyone. I always say that the words we use to describe a group, a religion, a country, a nation are always incorrect. Because these words assume that all the members of that group are of the same nature. We should not use such slang, such dirty words, such offensive words about others. I'm not pointing someone out. I'm, I'm not criticizing someone in particular. It's just a general remark that we should be careful. It serves no purpose, by the way. Rather, it unites all the uh, members of the group against you because you label them all under one title. Secondly, words, where is Munjarino's brother, a rich man, arrested in the UAE? And we heard that maybe he was going to be extradited to Ethiopia. Then some pro TPLF people launched a campaign against his extradition to Ethiopia. Uh, it seems that campaign worked, and the man, Dawit Gebregziaber, has been released. He remained in custody for around 18 days. For more than 2 weeks, he remained in custody, but he has been released. He's still in the UAE. Will he be allowed to leave the UAE? Let's see. But reportedly, security forces have released him. Yeah, LM, you're right. He says you lose possible allies when you start generalizing the whole group. I agree with you. Horn analyst says, is National Discussion Commission in Ethiopia going to succeed to bring peace and stability in Ethiopia? Horn analyst, how can National Dialogue Commission produce results when TPLF is not part of the commission, OLA is not part of the commission, PANO not part of the commission, OFC, OLF, ONLF, no major political or armed player in Ethiopia is part of this commission. Only Prosperity Party. Prosperity Party talking to itself. That's what we can say. The delegates chosen by PP appointed members of Dialogue Commission. How can this Dialogue Commission produce results? That is why I say Ethiopian government of PM Abiy is not interested in starting genuine dialogue. For genuine dialogue, players will have to be involved, which I mentioned. Some other players too, church as well, Islamic Affairs Supreme Council too, Ethiopian military, judiciary, media, all will have to sit. And then they'll have to chalk out a new roadmap for Ethiopia. Eskedom, I don't know if Ethiopia sent a team to the UAE or not, but Dawit has been released. Yemasgan says, Sajid Gebregziaber is saying you're Fano spokesperson. We will love to have you on our side. Who is Gebregziaber? Who is he? Alim says, can Ethiopia be ruled like Uganda? Is this what you're saying? Well, Uganda is not an ideal to be followed. I mean, you saw what happened when Bobby Wine was treated during the election there. It was a manipulated election. No, Agunaf, I'm reading all comments, but obviously not all can be read by me. All the important ones. Yemane says, hi, would the geographic reconfiguration, if the Horn of Africa be a long-term political solution? What do you think? I think these people should work on integrating their economic resources. Once they are linked economically and they start sharing their resources, they won't be able to fight against each other. That is the way forward. They should work for integration. They'll start earning from each other. Economic interests are more important than other issues. Gradually, other issues will fade in the background, I think. Thank you, CHF. When it comes to economic integration, the main hurdle is passed. Somalia mistrusts Ethiopia. Eritrea mistrusts Ethiopia. Somalia mistrusts Kenya as well. Issues between Somalia and Somaliland too. So Kenya is a better example, I always say, because Kenyans are focusing more on economy, keeping differences aside. They want to earn. They want to form ties with the West too, with China, Russia too, with neighboring countries too. They want to stay relevant. They are mediating. They are hosting dialogues about other countries. They mediated between Ethiopian government and TPLF, mediating in Sudan, in South Sudan. So that is how they are enhancing their regional reach. That should be the policy, I think. Then I think electoral system in Kenya much better than in other countries of the region. Kenya, a better model in this region, I would say. Abdi Farah says, mistrust, please, they are our enemies, those two. They know Somalia is coming back soon. Oh, come on, people should come out of this sort of frame of mind. I mean, borders cannot be redrawn now. It is difficult now in any part of the world. You saw, you see what is happening in Ukraine. Russia trying since last year to capture Ukraine, but still it's in eastern part of Ukraine. It's difficult. It would be it would be unwise to think of starting new wars. So think about future. You'll have to bury the past, I think. I mean, can Somalia ever join Somaliland? Can they come under one government? I don't think so. Because there are issues in Somaliland. When it comes to joining Somalia, they say no. Just like Eritrea. I mean, when it comes to proposal like joining Ethiopia, they all say no. We don't want to be part of Ethiopia again. Somaliland, same emotions there too. They are very sensitive about independence, about recognition. It's a reality now. They'll have to find a way. I'm not saying that Somaliland should be a country, but what is the point in continuing this deadlock? I mean, there should be a solution. The two regional countries should sit and find a solution. Economic integration is the key. If these countries start sharing their resources, I think they can progress faster. You'll see less conflicts. University Abraha says, Sajid, don't you know that Tigray is still on blockage? People, civilians have nothing to buy. Muni Muni is back. Welcome back, Muni Muni. No, I requested you to rejoin the live chat. Only problem is that we are brought up in different cultures, different countries. I mean, in some countries, freedom of expressions bar is so high that people are used to hearing slang words, offensive words. In some other countries, the bar is low for some people. That is what I think we should be careful about. Otherwise, this forum is open for everyone, and that's the beauty. That a man is sitting in Africa joining live chat, the other one in US joining my views and news live chat. I'm sitting in Pakistan. So people from different backgrounds are here, all believing that they can express their views, they can understand each other, they can share what they think with the others. Average Dom says, hello Sajid, Kenyan Ruto is the new sheriff in town. By the way, just one comment. Let me speak a little about Kenya, if you allow me. Let me speak a little about Kenya. I say that Kenya is a better model, but Kenya should not be for sale. Ruto should not sell out, sell out Kenya. Kenya shouldn't be commodity. I mean, Kenyan troops are being sent thousands of miles away to Haiti to restore normalcy, to restore peace there. And they're going to join Seychelles too in for an operation there. Why? Because US wants that. And when US wants something, it convinces the UN as well to do that thing. I mean, when US wants to intervene in a region, sometimes we get UN backing too for that intervention sometimes. So Kenya should not be on sale for the US. It should be careful. Forming strategic partnership with the US is one thing, but letting yourself to be used as a commodity by an international power is another thing. Kenya will have to be careful, I think, because those who just crossed limits and turned into proxies of international powers, they suffered in the end. In the end, they suffered, I think. Abdi Farah is mentioning Djibouti. By the way, last night in Addis Ababa, Somaliland by University of Breha. Last night in Addis Ababa, there was a big show organized by Somaliland diplomatic community. Uh, I think there was song, there were speeches. Barbara Mayer came to. Barbara Mayer announced that Ethiopia would start using Barbara port for oil, for fuel imports soon. It's a bad news for Djibouti. Someone mentioned Djibouti. That's why I'm talking about it. Ethiopia has diverted its fertilizer imports from Djibouti to Canning Lamo port. Now, Ethiopia planning to divert fuel imports from Djibouti to Somaliland's Berbera port. Djibouti could be in trouble. Its economy could be in trouble. Ethiopia and if Kenya and Somaliland start relying on Ethiopian revenue, it means that Ethiopia will have the sway, the influence in these two countries. It will be able to exercise its influence in Somaliland, Kenya, Djibouti, because all would be earning from Ethiopia. Okay, Yamasgan, yeah, I would suggest that you should talk to Mooney. Both of you should talk privately, I would say. Lilo says, Sajid, my views in news is my believable news I will watch every day. Thank you, Lilo. Your camera is frozen, someone is saying. Robo joined. Any problem with my camera, with my video? Okay, okay. I think we should end the live chat session. 46-minute live chat session. We talked in detail about Ethiopia-Eritrea relations. Ethiopia is provoking Eritrea, definitely. No doubt about that now. How will Eritrea respond? Let's analyze that in coming videos. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.